Episode 12 was called The Secret. It was directed by James Marshall and it was written by Alan Heinberg and Josh Schwartz. This episode had 6.9 million viewers watching, a major decline from the previous episode. And the episode's original air date was November 26th, 2003. Okay. The Secret was primarily about making Luke comes back, and it's the first episode where he actually plays a major role. Um, Tension. You think there's going to be a lot of tension between him and Ryan when they get paired up as lab partners, but there isn't. There's a lot of tension between Luke and his dad because Luke's dad comes out of the closet in this episode. I have big issues when shows do coming out storylines because, for the most part, I think they're handled horribly. I do. This one was okay, but again, it kind of seems like everything's going to be just dandy because he did that. And it's not. It's going to be a rough life for him for the rest of his life. And it's a major shame that people just think that it's going to be all hunky dory. And it's just not. But Ryan and Marissa end up deepening their relationship. He's able to trust her more by the end of the episode. Anna and Summer have this weird friendship going on after they've been screwed over by Seth in the previous episode, and then they both break their friendship to try to pursue him once again. So again, that was really cool. But again, it's all very weird, very strange. Looking at this episode now, it's a little weird to try to introduce the idea of homosexuality. Other than, I guess, to give Luke more screen time, it somewhat seems a little bit forced into the show. Now, this is quite possibly the least offensive of all the times they bring up homosexuality. But, it gets hardcore. They really push it later on in the show, and for most of those times it makes no sense. This time it kind of does, because we don't know anything about Luke's dad, so if he decides to come out of the closet, then that might make sense for his character. For other characters, no. But for this one, it's the least offensive, and it in a way it makes a lot of sense, simply because we just don't know anything about his character. Um, it was okay. It was an okay episode. It wasn't horrendous. It wasn't awful. Um, but again, it wasn't great, and the way they dealt with it was just It was whatever. So I'll keep trucking through the season.